Hey guys, Daniel Master 87 here. And it's been a while, and I know I'm gonna be calling this the Resident Evil chapter is here, when in truth it came out like a month ago, the new chapter. And the reason I didn't record at all since the chapter came out is because I value my viewers' time as well as my own, and this game was in ruin when that update came out. Like, there would be lags or freezes or whatever in every single match, and it was just unbearable. I couldn't even record it because my audience deserves better than that. So, a new killer is Nemesis, and they used his Resident Evil 3 remake look instead of the good old classic one, but that's fine. And I know we were tired of, or at least I was tired of ranged killers in this game, and they made him a ranged killer. Not with his rocket launcher, but with his whip attack. But despite him being another ranged killer, I really do like his design. He has, well, his power is called the T virus. But basically you bring out your tentacle and you can do a tentacle strike with it, and what that does is infect the survivors. It doesn't damage them immediately, like if they're uninfected and you hit them with a tentacle attack, it infects them. But someone who is infected will be hurt by your tentacle attack the next time you hit them. So if you were to hit them with your tentacle attack and down them just with that, it would take 3 times of you hitting them with that to down them. So you can play him like a normal 115% killer, which is why I have to say the best for last, by just punching them. There are vaccines found in supply cases that will spawn in the environment when you're playing as the Nemesis. Survivors, once they're infected, are shown the ores of those supply cases, and they can open them and inject the vaccine. And vaccine is kind of a weird term for it instead of, cure. Because it's not really a vaccine if you're taking it after you're infected, is it? But anyway, taking those vaccines, which there's a limited number of them, unlike plague, will get rid of the infection. And in some ways it's like giving plague her power, and in other ways it's not. If Nemesis hits a survivor with his tentacle attack who is not infected, then he will gain more towards his contamination thing, because this is a leveling up killer, which I'll explain. He gets more progress towards his contamination for hitting uninfected people with his tentacle attack than hitting people with it that are already infected. Like, hitting someone with who's not infected will give you like 3 points. Hitting someone who's already infected will give you like 1 point towards it. Yeah, mutation rate, not contamination. After you've hit a certain amount of people with your tentacle attack, your mutation rate will be leveled up, like a Myers type thing. It'll go to mutation rate 2. And when you level up your mutation rate, then it stays there. It can't go back down like Myers tier 3. Mutation rate 2 basically allows you to instantly break pallets or windows whenever you use it on them. And you'll see that when we're playing as him. And then there's mutation rate 3, which requires even more hitting people with the tentacle attack. And basically all it does is it gives you 1 extra meter on the range of the tentacle attack, which isn't that great. But hey. Also, when you're playing as the Nemesis, it spawns in 2 zombies. And as it says down there, if a zombie hits a survivor, it infects them, just like getting hit with a tentacle attack would. And sorry, I'm just contemplating if this is really recording or not, because I took off the thing on the sides that would show anyone who's watching me their comments. But zombie hits you, then you get a sprint burst, and you're now infected. And if you're already infected and the zombie hits you, you take a hit of damage. So they're cool in that way. In the PTV, the zombies were significantly smarter. Now it seems like they're getting stuck on obstacles and stuff, and they have a shorter range from where they can hit survivors. But we just had an update, which is why I'm recording, because it's fixed the horrible lag we were experiencing. So maybe they did a zombie AI update with that as well, I'm not sure. I tried to bring up the patch notes before I started so I would be refreshed on everything, but it would not load on my PS4. And the zombies can also be destroyed with Tentacle Strike, and if you do that, then it'll actually give you points towards your mutation. If you attack them and kill them with your basic attack, it will not give you any additional points towards your contamination, which is something you need to keep in mind. I think if Nemesis kills a zombie, it respawns in like 15 seconds. If a survivor kills it, it's like 30 seconds to a minute before they respawn. Survivors can actually use flashlights and a new item, flashbang, or firecrackers, which was the precursor, to blind and stun the zombies. They'll be stunned for like 20 seconds or something crazy like that. And then if they head on or pallet slam the zombies, that will also kill the zombie. So there's add-ons. We'll see more of them in the future. There's nothing too crazy that you wouldn't expect. It's like extends the zombie detection range, this one, which I don't have equipped. It basically means zombies can detect survivors, like the noises they make and stuff, from further away. And there's other ones like, this is a really popular one right here. Gain the undetectable status after destroying a zombie. People use it to be undetectable with Nemesis. And sadly, Nemesis has the Demogorgon problem where he's undetectable, right? But he makes these huge, loud stomp, stomp, stomps as he comes towards you, so he's not truly undetectable like other killers. I guess I should mention his perks. He comes with a new Gen Defense perk, Eruption, which you basically kick a Gen and that'll make that Gen light up yellow, and then the next time you down a survivor, then that Gen explodes and loses 6% of its progress and then starts regressing. And if a survivor is working on it when it explodes, then they'll suffer from the incapacitated status, which I think is the one that Victor gives you when he pounces on your vac, meaning you basically can't do anything like work on a Gen or heal somebody. So yeah, that's like a different take on Gen defense, because you need to spend time kicking Gens to get use out of it, and you need to kick multiple Gens so that that effect triggers on all of them. It's like another surge basically, but different activation conditions and stuff. What's his other one? Hysteria. So anytime, well, this has a cooldown and so does oppression, keep that in mind. Anytime this is off cooldown and you injure a survivor, the other survivors in the match that are injured will suffer oblivious for 30 seconds. So they won't be able to hear your terror radius, and as it says, 30-second cooldown. It's kind of a niche, kind of created. I don't think I'll be using it that much. And he had a last one. I'm pretty sure I have it up to level 3, yes. Lethal Pursuer. This is basically at the start of the trial. The survivor auras are shown to you for 9 seconds. And then the perk does nothing after that, which may seem kind of weak, but knowing exactly where survivors have spawned instead of playing a guessing game is, it's kind of useful actually for a one-time effect. But we're gonna get started. There's other changes to killers, like Trickster in this latest patch has been buffed. He doesn't need to hit 8 knives to down someone. I think he needs to hit 6 now, and for some reason when they buffed him they also had to give him a nerf for some reason. So instead of having 60 knives total, I think it was, or 50, he has 44, which is a weird number, and if you're someone who's OCD, that will really annoy you, because that's just a weird number to end on. Yeah, the lag was super bad. I had to turn off crossplay in order to stomach the killer matches, because I couldn't stand the thought of me suffering through a bunch of lag problems, but people who were on PC and stuff who were not affected by those problems, like having that advantage against me. I didn't like it at all. But when I played with my friends, I turned crossplay back on so we could actually have faster queue times. Survivor was nowhere near as bad as Killer, talking about how it had been affected by the lags or the freeze or whatever that happened mid-match. But it still screwed you up like a lot of the times. It's like, oh, I froze, that means the killer gets free distance on me. Oh, I froze, so because I was in the middle of turning my camera when I froze, I'm now facing the killer instead of running away from them. It was just annoying crap like that. And Dead Hard didn't work at all. I had to take Dead Hard off all of my survivors and switch it out for balanced or something, but I guess I'll talk more about Survivor when I get to them. There was another balance change actually for Trapper. He no longer has his weird like beige or tan colored traps at base. They're more of like red and dark gray or something. They're much easier to hide now. Like if you were to go to Midwich or something, you wouldn't even need the darkened traps add-on, because they're so hidden now, the way they look. Okay, let's see what he can do. Or I do know what he can do, but maybe y'all don't, obviously. We already see a survivor. There's a zombie spawning over there. Oh darn. Maybe I'm so accustomed to the lag that I messed up the timing on that. Dang. Or maybe I'm just bad at it. Got her. We would be fine to hit her now. Just basic attack. because we don't have any stacks to lose yet. But we need our infection rate to get up, so I guess it's fine. I keep saying infection rate, contamination. Just gonna try to dodge it, probably. Lag. Okay, maybe they didn't fix the lag. Or maybe that was just a one-time thing. Yeah, it's super hard to aim at them. You have to tentacle attack like right away. Come on, man. This loop is so unfair. And you can't hit over certain things. At least we have corrupt intervention, so this isn't costing us that much. Man. Oh, here's one of our zombies not doing their job. Our zombie just hit the lorry. Tried to 360, and she has a macro on. That's oppression and eruption this. They're over there. Kill a zombie to get some infection. Contamination. Holding forward. I think they might greed that gen and come back to it. Someone is here, because it's not sparking. Yeah, there you are. Dang. I think we're just getting unlucky right now with these high caliber survivors. Okay, we haven't hooked someone yet, which is shocking. That zombie's stunned, so they must have flashlighted him. Was this? I feel like I've never seen this type of rock before. I really need to get out of level 1, man. This is taking so long. I messed up and now I lost my bloodlust. She's gonna drop it. Really? Oh my god. Those loops are so unfair. I can't hit over them. This is just showing what he can do though. I don't care that much if I win or lose. Fucking quiet. They just know. I might consider turning crossplay back off. Man. Okay, someone might be waiting here to flashlight save her or something. This zombie is stuck. Exactly as I've said. And how did that not kill him? Now we can do this. And that. Okay, I don't care about that far one, it's too far. No one missed a skill check, I guess. Sprint burst for style. She's the one with the macro on the flashlight too. Huh? Dude, that almost cost me. Already got her up. This feels like Survive with Friends. The way they're all hanging around each other. I'm hearing another person. There she is again. Oh yeah, the hitbox lasts for a bit, so I still hit her even though that was late. I thought she'd vault. There's Fing, she'll go through the window. Hopefully these zombies will pressure the guys from being on this gen. Why can I hear a Fing? Wasting my stacks, but that's fine. We're still up to 6. No, you can't get that. Even though sometimes the game allows it for some reason. Nice. Yeah. Through the borrowed. That was like a flick shot with the tentacle. And you messed that up. This loop is pretty unfair right now. I couldn't even hear her. Where is she? I can't hear her. They finished it. This map is split like crazy now. Little hope of winning at this point. Pushing gens while injured. Another indicator of Survive with Friends. Wow. Can barely hear. And then the hitbox messed me up. This is depressing. This hitbox is so messed up, and I can't let her pellet stun me or you lose bloodlust. Yeah, you lose bloodlust for doing that now. That hitbox on the pallet was generous. We could face camp for 1 kill. Of course. She wasn't even infected, so it didn't matter. She's not infected either, so that didn't matter. I think I kinda wanna kill this person over anyone else. Because they've been pretty toxic this whole time. I know you have sprint burst, so you won't have dead hard. So we finally reached level 3, which doesn't do much for us at this point. I'm gonna hook her now because if I go for a further one, their body blocking will deny me the hook. I see 2 over there, where's the 3rd? There she is. Just holding forward. Why'd you do that? Messed up. Of course it hits the person on the hook. You have borrowed, so you're invincible. Now y'all have allowed me to put her on a further hook. Oh. Well, that was unfair. They all get out. Nothing I could do. Even if I downed the thing, she'd have DS. Now where's Lori? Hatch was somewhere near the killer shack. Oh no, she's there. Somehow we got a brutal killer. Yeah, I don't want to deal with macros and stuff like that, so I'm just gonna turn off crossplay again. Hopefully it doesn't impact our matchmaking too much. Actually, I'll be switching to Survivor now, so it's fine. But I was completely unable to do anything with this tentacle attack for a majority of those chases. Because they had the stupid truck loops that you can't hit over with much of anything. And then the rock loop, and oh my gosh. If I was Huntress in that game, I would have lost so much quicker. So we've seen the new killer for the Resident Evil chapter. The map is the Raccoon City Police Department. It's very much, what's the word? It looks very much like the police department we see in RE2 Remake. Like, exactly the same almost. There's one or two different things, like there's a hole in the wall at some place, or a secret passage in one place where there wasn't in the original game. But it's a faithfully remade map, I'll say. Also, survivors have gotten new faces and improved textures on their clothes. As you can see, Dwight looks really weird right here. Yeah. Oh, they even changed the face icons. I thought they would just stay the same. There's a default one. There we go. They're more realistic faces, but it's gonna take some time to get used to them again. So they will look weird. And they also have their old faces and stuff in these pictures, even though they're changed now. Here's Meg, nothing that different about her, but her hair has better quality. I've got to unequip these crowns sometimes, because those were for the 5th year anniversary thing. So we'll go through the improved survivor faces for a second before we get to the new survivors. Jake. I don't know about this hair anymore, because now they look completely different pretty much. I think I'll stay with this though. And Nia, she looks pretty samey. Not everyone got a face change, it's mostly just the original Dead by Daylight characters. So Bill, this is just an outfit for him. I got it from the Rift. We have David. And people were saying he's the ugly one of all the remasters. I don't quite see it. Oh, they did improve Lori, so there are some licensed characters that have had improvements. In that case, I might go back to Bill and see if that changes anything. I guess he looked good before, so it's just fine now. Lori, I still hate her hair. Doesn't look like her at all. Ace. Thing. Quentin looks really good now, because he just looked awful before. Tap is the same. Okay, and she has that upper lip thing that she's doing. People say it makes her look like a rat or something. That's pretty much all that's changed with her. Adam just looks like a more realistic face. Jeff, pretty much the same, but slightly better. Although there's like weird blue shimmers in the hair or whatever, I guess to reflect off the environment. Jane's pretty samey. Is this an improved Ash face? I think it is.
Alright.
And then Nancy and Steve are pretty recent, so they'll look good already. Oh, they did change Yui. And Zarina, they've kept pretty much the same. Because the newer the survivors, the better they look and aren't in need of significant face changes. Cheryl looks way better, and so do her alternate outfits, the Sybil and the Lisa, the nurse. Felix looked good already, except now it looks like he's got some eyebrow animation or something. LD's the same. Yunjin Lee the same. And now to our new survivors, we have Jill from Resident Evil 3 Remake. And she comes with 3 new perks. One of them, which I think is the most OP one, is Blast Mine. If you've completed a total of 66% worth of repair progress on generators. It becomes available after working on a generator for at least 3 seconds. You can press the X button to put the blast mine on there, and it'll stay active for 45 seconds. The blast mine will blind and stun the killer if they try to kick the gen while it's active. So that's super annoying to go against this killer, because you'll need to kick it because you need to apply a pop or something, and you have to wait out the stun and the blind, and then you have to kick it again because it cancels your kick when it stuns you. What else? Resurgence, which is actually really useful. Gain 50% healing progress instantly after being unhooked or unhooking yourself. I don't know how that would work with Deliverance though. It wouldn't, would it? Because you're broken. Technically, it would heal you to 50% and you couldn't be healed anymore until after the 60 seconds, but when that 60 seconds ended, you would be at 50% heal. And what's her last one? I think her last one is the least good one. And I must be blind because I can't see it. Here it is. Counter Force. So definitely not a bad perk, unlike what people are saying. You cleanse totems 20% faster. After cleansing a totem, you see the aura of the furthest totem from you for 3 seconds. And then you gain an additional 20% stackable speed bonus to cleansing totems for the remainder of the trial. So each totem you do, you get 20% faster totem breaking speed. So this is like a complete hex killing perk. No one is running hexes nowadays, which is unfortunate. And she has, these are worth mentioning, she has alternate costumes, or one alternate costume right now, that turns her into Claire Redfield. She's sporting her RE2 remake look. And I might as well go to the Cheryl skin if I do that. For survivors, when it changes the character they are completely, then it actually changes their name and their picture on the left side of the screen where all the survivors and their statuses are displayed. So it would say Alyssa, it would say Lisa, it would say Sybil. She looks slightly better. It's not a huge improvement, but it's something. Who else? Oh yeah, there was that Jonathan Byers skin for Steve. I don't know if I've spoiled it already by looking at that, but the second new survivor for the Resident Evil chapter is Leon Kennedy, and they're using his RE2 look. Unfortunately not his RE4 look, but I have seen that they included a RE4 costume for him in the shop, and it doesn't look that much better because it's doing that on the RE2 Leon model that they've made for him, and it just looks weird. But it's a faithfully made outfit at least. He was just more muscular in RE4, I guess, so he looks weird. And they got a Chris Redfield skin for him, which looks really weird because it's like they tried to put the RE5 face on the RE1 Chris look, so he looks kind of weird. Oh, we'll be seeing Leon in the RE2 remake when we do a let's play of that. Although, maybe not. I think I'm gonna do Claire's route and call it a day. His perks. Bite the bullet. When you and the survivor you're healing, which also includes yourself, if you're healing yourself, you make no noise, including grunts of pain. So basically as soon as you start healing, you have Iron Will. And the killer's not going to be hearing that healing sound either. There's no noise notification on a failed healing skill check, and healing regresses by only 1% when you do that. I didn't know that whole second sentence part of it, because the first part is strong enough as it is. I wouldn't run it. This perk, the super fun one, Flashbang. After completing 50% progress on any generator, Flashbang activates. Which means you can go in a locker, press the X button, and that'll give you a flashbang. And the flashbang is pretty much like a firecracker in how it operates. Because you drop it on the ground and then it pops, and then the killer's blinded if they're looking at it. So what's his third perk? Rookie Spear, I believe. Complete 3 good or great skill checks while repairing a generator to activate Rookie Spirit for the entire rest of the trial. And once it's active, you can see the aura of regressing generator, so you don't know that there's a gen at 99 or something, then you see, oh, I see that generator is regressing for some reason, let me go check it out, and there you go. It allows you to monitor generators that the killer has begun regressing and stop them from regressing. And I guess I'll play as Jill first. Put on Blast Mine. Resurgence, not necessary. Counterforce, not really. Let's put that on. These are the cakes for the 5th anniversary event, which is now over. Jill and Leon look a little weird in this game because it's like when they made the Steve and Nancy models and stuff, it's like you're taking a character that is structured differently and you're putting it into like the typical Dead by Daylight anatomy that they have for their humans, and it makes them look kind of stumpy and short or whatever. And maybe I should have pressed ready before this because this might take a while. But there was a glitch before this update where if you press ready on the survivor, it doesn't let you unready. You have to like turn the game off. Which was dumb. And I have a daily to do, which I guess I'll do off camera with my friends if I have time for that tonight. What other balance changes? If I've missed any. Not much, I don't think. I hope they fix that one blight glitch, because you would bump into something, you would rush with him, and I think the thing that caused it is if you got stunned in the middle of your rush with a pallet or something. It makes it to where you need to basic attack again before it allows you to do another rush, which is stupid. And I thought that with crossplay on and me being solo that I would have faster join times than this, but I guess not. Now that more people are playing, since the game isn't complete garbage now, we'll probably be experiencing longer queue times. But yeah, a majority of killers because of lag were just horrible. Some people say, oh, this killer or this killer is not really affected by the lag. They most certainly are. Because it's really bad when it's happening in the middle of you doing your power, like readying a Huntress Hatchet or doing a Blight Rush or something. But even just chasing the survivor, like you would lag for a second and they would gain distance on you, especially when they dead hard. Because when someone dead hard in front of you, it would freeze your game for a second, and they'd get distance on you even though you were waiting out the dead hard and they mistimed it, like did it too early. They'd get distance on you anyway. It is pretty obnoxious. But this update hopefully fixes all of that. And I can continue on my underrated / underused perked series and stuff like that. Because that's the thing I wanted to do the most when I was waiting for them to update the game and fix it. Why is it doing this? I can spin her now, but for some reason when I joined the lobby it was having me do this, like I was holding the button. And hopefully they've re-enabled the DC penalty or something. Because the dev said, well, we have people crashing and stuff, and our disconnect penalty system is stupid because it gives someone a penalty even when their internet or something literally went out and not them actually pressing the leave match button. So we're just going to disable the penalty, and oh boy. That made it to where every other match, DC, DC, DC. It's like Friday the 13th with its no penalty self. People just DC'd left and freaking right, and they would DC at like the 30-second mark into a match, and you'd be at an uphill battle the whole rest of the time. Even though on the flip side, when I was playing Killer, I wasn't experiencing it that much, unfortunately. But that's how it goes. I am still on air, that's good to know. I have no comments. I have no spectators. I would just like to be able to see what time I'm at, because I have no idea how to keep track of that right now. No corrupt intervention. Joy. What was that? Does this guy have that thing on? I think he does. Technician. Because it made no explosion, but you know. Killer's coming. But who? Oh crap! We let our guard down. I forgot she could do that. That's one of the things I think needs to change with Spirit for people to be happy. People are hardcore like, oh my gosh, nerf Spirit into unplayability. Or they wouldn't call it that, they'd just say making her fair. When the changes they're suggesting to her would make her absolute trash. But really all she needs for them to test how powerful she is to get rid of the standstill, stupid, terror radius mind games. Because you should be able to tell when she's phasing. She shouldn't be able to stand still and you have to question, is she actually phasing or is she not? That's ridiculous. And we have terrible, terrible teammates, it seems. Because someone has gone into the basement. And I can't blame this guy for getting grabbed off the gen, because if I was on that side I would have gotten grabbed off. But it's still at like 30%, we can get it back up and finish it. I'll put a trap on here, blast mine, and then start getting another one ready. You can kind of waste blast mine in that way, because it'll only be active for 45 seconds. And then you can finish the gen anyway, which is what we're going to do here. Oh, we got one spectator, it tells me. Just when they join and leave, I suppose. Oh, I have another blast mine ready. She's phasing. Hopefully she kicks the Jinn and activates blast mine. Why did you run the killer right next to where I was doing the Jinn? I got you there. No spirit counterplay, clearly. Or the no counterplay killer, they say. Leon, why were you still here? I'm over here. Okay, I'll take my leave. She wasn't taking the bait. Now she might be. She's coming. Make her think we're gonna loop there, but actually keep running. Oh, sorry dude, I didn't know you were working on that. Let's drop and use balanced. This is why I like balanced. You don't need a window or anything, you just need a simple drop. Smart. We can make it to the god loop probably. Why are you up here? And then you dropped. Now she knows we're up here. If she's gonna pick her up, then I'll jump on the Jinn and put a blast mine on it. That was good, we didn't trigger the explosion on the Jinn. Because the Jinn loves to give you skill checks the moment you let go. Kick the Jinn spirit, please. Okay, it did happen. But you see, she needed to regress that Jinn. She had to kick it. Why would she play around it, even if she knew it was there? I try to see things from the killer's side a lot of the time, because most people don't. While we're here, playing as Jill, I'd like to mention that I don't like the RE3 remake Jill look they have for her. She looked way better in the original RE3, which I've never played, but just a side-by-side comparison, I'll tell you. Is this regressing? It's not sparking, so no. Uh-oh. Oh, she's there. Sorry, Leon, don't have time to heal you. Don't know why this girl's playing Spirit, anywho. What? I wasted the pallet because the phasing sound was coming towards me. Why did it stop? Gotta get her off. This would have been a nice match to have second wind. I stopped running it because I wasn't getting any use out of it. I can get back on this one.